Hello and welcome to today's video where we're going to cover the LEC offseason once more. Yesterday we went over the way the teams looked going into free agency, where they look now post rumors, and this includes all the players that have been displaced by those rumors or were free agents to begin with. Some of these players have signed contracts with other teams. Other teams, by that, I mean they have signed contracts, but they won't be playing. In the case of Alfari or Jazu and Flackhead, ERLs, and Upset, taking time off. Includes all that. I've already filmed this video once. That's why there are numbers alongside all these players. If you're new to the channel, I do not like filming my videos twice. I feel like it gives a disingenuous view and not a true, authentic view of how an individual feels. Now, how do I want to do this now that I'm doing it a second time? So, yesterday there were a few slots open still that were rumored to not be, there were no rumors for them. They're rumored to be empty. Astralis Jungle has been filled now by 113 apparently, and Heretic's top lane is filled by Evie from Detonation Focus Me. Yes, a Japanese player is getting an opportunity in a major region. I think that is awesome. I don't know how it's going to do, and maybe it goes awful, but at the same time, I think it's awesome. Remember, all of these contracts are verbal agreements. None of it is 100% going to happen. All of it is verbal agreements. And if you know anything about contract jail and how some of these teams treat players, I don't know why we would give orgs the benefit of the doubt in that they would actually keep their word when a player like Upset becomes available in free agency. I don't know why. If I'm an org, I don't know why I would say, well, I'm sorry, Neon. I didn't know Upset was going to be available. Goodbye. Sorry, Neon, but the fact of the matter is, or whoever, if there's a better player available, you take the better player. So top lane, Arma has been replaced by Chasey. Gen X was allowed to walk from SK. Alfari is signed to play for Vitality. Again, he re-signed. I don't understand that. Hopefully he only signed for a split. I'm making sure I'm recording. What happened last time was the audio was not working. So Alfari, hopefully he didn't sign for a whole year, because clearly being bought out is not a great situation to be in, trying to get bought out, and teams may be saying no, so you're just not getting paid. Because some teams are not paying players their buyout rate, they're paying them a bench rate. That Reckless story was wild. Aggressivo out of BDS and Vizicachi from Astralis. Vizicachi probably is gonna retire, would be my guess. So Gen X, I thought it, well, it wasn't a thought. I think Gen X is the best player in top lane that's available right now. I thought he was definitely the bright spot for SK. He did a very good job. Clearly, he was all that they had. They were one of the most boring teams to watch in all 4 major regions, I'm not going to lie. And he dealt a lot of damage in top lane. He was able to get a lot of farm. He got fed. He did what he had to do. I think that there is a market for him, and I believe people should have given him better opportunity compared to other LEC top laners that are getting looks right now. Alfari plays carries. Sometimes is a locker room problem. There are rumors of locker room problems with Alfari, so I could see why maybe some teams are backing off. Maybe they're like, we don't want that problem. But there are players a lot worse than Alfari on LEC rosters right now, so he is LEC worthy and LCS worthy as well. Obviously, has played in the LCS. Armut out of Mad Lions. This is a tough one because a lot of people don't like Armut. And do I think Armut is a world's caliber player? No. Do I think that he is top 5 in the LEC? No. Do I think he's LEC worthy? Probably. I think Armut's better than your worst top laner. So he's a 3. I think that he could be on an ERL team if he wants to. Now Turkey being rumored to go to the ERL. Maybe he plays for a Turkish team. Aggressivo, not very good. And Vizicachi, past his prime. So, those two players, I mean, if Vizicachi doesn't want to retire, I'm sure somebody will pay him to play. The only open spot, Heretics jungle slot. So, we have 5 junglers here that are left. In addition, if Heretics want to go through, you know, how do I, they want to go through ERLs. Zanzras probably should be listed on here, actually, because he is right now slotted in as Heretics Misfits jungler. I'd probably put him as 5 and Gilly as 6. So, the deal, Jankos, Yike replaces Jankos. Jankos allowed to walk, a little long in the tooth. Syncroft, I am a big fan of what Syncroft did. Syncroft, not a big fan of people that think that he did well during summer. Apparently, somebody in my comment section, you know, said that if you think Syncroft believes if you think that he did well in summer and was the best player on BDS, you don't know anything about LEC. So, not a big fan of people that like him, apparently. Gilius, we have a Gilius fanboy or fangirl, I don't know, so a big Gilius fan in the comment section from time to time. Gilius out at SK, I think that he, like Vizicachi, probably hit his limit. Self-made, still available from Vitality. No buyout necessary from what I understand. However, that contract must be fat because nobody wants to pay it. Other Vitality jungler, Haru. You know, I thought that honestly he probably could have done as well as Malrung did on Rogue. I think that they're very similar players. However, he was on Vitality and it didn't work. So, how do I feel about these junglers? Who do I think probably is a good fit for Heretics? Jankos, I do not think it's a good fit for Heretics. I think he should take the money one way or another. He has said, apparently, well, I believe he had said on his stream that if a top LEC team didn't want him, he'd go to an LCS team before he took a bottom tier LEC job. No LEC jobs are available except Heretics. So it comes down to this. How much money is Jankos making streaming, and is it worth it for him to go to the LCS and take the bag? You know, is he going to show caution because he's seen so many LEC players struggle in the LCS at the end of their career? You know, Broxa being a good example. I mean, it remains to be seen. When it comes to Heretic slot, personally, I believe Syncroft is the best player for it. But Syncroft, I think, is still under contract with BDS, so I wouldn't be shocked if they put him in ERLs, which would suck for Syncroft. I think he is LEC quality. I think he's a good player. And in a better spot, I think he could have definitely made more noise. I felt like he was the one doing all the work for BDS to get them out to early leads. Maybe he feels that he struggled in the mid to late game and couldn't close games out. But I thought that he did a lot of the work to get them ahead. Now, another player that I have for this Heretic spot is Self-Made. So we're going to skip Gilius. Self-Made has carry potential. Like, he can do probably pretty much anything. Is he the best jungler in the LEC? No. But I think he's upper half if he plays. So, Heretics are probably in a good spot if they go with him. Offsets Ruby, I think, in mid, and Jack Spectra. They have a lot of inexperienced players there, so Self-Made may help them out. Now, as far as the other two are concerned, Haru and Gilius, I think Haru might be a good fit for a team like PSG. Korean jungler, they like Korean junglers to pair with their mid laners. I don't think that he is major region level anymore. Like I said, I think that he could have done what Malrung did with Rogue, but I do wonder if he's hurt his reputation a bit. Not his fault, but nevertheless. And Gilius, I think, is at the point now where he's done. Mid lane, Nuke Duck, the only one. So, is there a spot for him? No. Nuke Duck, like Gilius, like Vizicachi, older player. He had moments this past year that he looked okay and good, but other times where he did look like he shouldn't be, you know, on a contending team. So, excuse me, does he play for an ERL team? Maybe. Does he, you know, back up on Heretics or something and push Ruby and maybe start? Sorry, I had to do something there. Itch my leg. But we'll see. Bot lane, that is the most interesting role. So 3 of the 4 bot laners from Worlds are not in the LEC going into spring. Comp is the only one left. Upset has been replaced by Reckless. He is supposedly going to take a split off, like Alfari, like Jensen and Niski from last year, hoping to find a spot in summer. I believe that maybe he should be taking an LCS spot, but I digress. Jezu and Flackid both are rumored now to take ERL spots. I do think Flackid did deserve an LEC spot. I think he's better than the worst LEC bot laners. There are a lot of bot laners around his level, Jezu included. Crowny, Neon, that I just don't think are exceptional. Kabe. So for him not to have a spot, kind of weird. I know a lot of people like to give him a lot of flack. Get it, Flackid and flack. But he was a rookie. But I understand G2 is constantly trying to keep up their, you know, they're trying to win within Caps' window of being the best Western player. But the fact is, I mean, hopefully they get Hans, right? Unforgiven, I thought definitely still should have kept his spot. I think he's way better than Karzi, but that's beside the point. He's unemployed. If I'm an LCS team and I don't care about imports and, you know, trying to have NA talent, Unforgiven's probably a quality player to add. I think that he has some skill, a little bit room, still can have time to grow a bit. He isn't 25 years old, but at the same time, he isn't 18, I don't believe. So I think he's worthy of a major region spot. X-Matty, definitely not. So X-Matty is an ERL player through and through. I'm not a big X-Matty fan. Speaking of X-Matty, we'll go to support with Urdate, Limit, and Treats. To go off of what Syncroft said, Urdate could have been the player that was the best player for BDS in summer when he did play. He set up a lot of things for X-Matty, and he and X-Matty did very well in bot lane 2v2, had multiple games in a row, I believe, where they had a 2v2 kill, which is a surprise because BDS pretty much stinks. So when Urdate got replaced by Limit and Urdate got sent down to the LFL, the team went downhill, and Limit isn't very good anymore. So Limit is ranked below Urdate for me for this list. And then Treats. Why does he have a question mark if you can make it out? I think that if there's a player on this list here, on this board, that has a good chance to go into the booth, as we call it, in North America Pro Sports, player goes to the booth, goes to the analyst desk. I think he can do it. He did very well after the season in that spot. I wouldn't be shocked if he did. He could also go back to the LCS if he wanted to. He's done that before. But question mark, because I think, honestly, there is a world where he just stops playing. So that's it for my LEC free agency board. For the other 3 major regions, it's going to be a lot more interesting because their agents and teams aren't leaking things to create hype in November. So from November 11th through January 11th, nobody cares. So thanks for leaking everything, right? Really appreciate it. So thank you for watching this video. Down in the description, there are 3 links: Twitter, Discord, YouTube memberships. Twitter, follow me there. Discord, join the Discord. There's 350 or so of us, talk about League all the time. YouTube memberships, $3 a month to get a badge in the comment section. $10 a month to get that badge, plus extra NFL American football content. Later on today, my LOL Esports Roundup video will go up. I uploaded one yesterday as well, where I go over the news that is official and not rumored. So if that interests you, that's there, and thank you for watching.